Hello, cats and kittens. Orewa Jose, Yoroshku. Back in the Crisis Corner, continuing a walk down memory lane with the Anatomy of a Cover series, looking at the past and present Intrepid covers. Um, I'm trying to do this in one cut because it's late at night and I'm tired and I'm trying to get to sleep. But walk down memory lane, past and present artists who have worked on covers for us, and it's cool looking back at some of this work. It brings back memories. Um, First, we're looking at the second issue of Intrepid, which is entitled, Intrepid Chapter 2, La Ballad de los Santos Carios. For those who don't speak Spanish, or speak Spanish less than I do, the Ballad of Fallen Saints. This is one of my favorite chapters of the story because it's one of those meeting between faded friends. Think about um, Lennon and McCartney meeting at St. Peter's Church. Paxton and Dawson, they meet at, and Paxton walks into Keith's bar in San Miguel, Mexico. Mayhem ensues, and it keeps rolling from there. It's just these two guys represent probably the most rewarding friendship in the series. Um, Being that I know how the series ends, yeah, this the most rewarding friendship in the series because they're opposites, but they instinctively get along. They instinctively know that the other person is a decent guy and somebody that you can trust. Paxton walks into the bar and probably at his lowest state in his life and instinctively asks Keith for help. And Keith has no reason to help Paxton, but again, instinctively knows that this is a person that he can trust and deserves his help. So, having said all of that, let's look at the covers. Um, we're going to start with the earliest cover. It actually never got lettered for various reasons, which I'm not going to get into. But it never got lettered, but it's an awesome cover. The cover was produced by, if I'm not mistaken, this was Eliza. Eliza, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Govia. Brilliant artist. He worked on the first two issues for us back in the day. I'm not going to get into that either, but he's a brilliant artist. It never got colored, and to be honest with you, I don't think I would ever would have gotten it colored. I just put the logos on there and been done with it because the black and white is so awesome. It depicts Paxton in a straight jacket. The story was different at that point. I'm not going to get into it either because that's too much. The story's evolved over the years. This was the first iteration that saw print. Actually, technically the second iteration that saw print, but I'm not getting into that either. But the main thing is, it's locked in a straight jacket. It's an awesome. I go back and I think about this. It was a very interesting take on what the series eventually became, but I had a lot of fun writing that. Anyway, he's in a straight jacket. He's captured, and he's again in the bad ways. It's just cool. It's a cool looking cover. Um, Black and white, nice, perspective. I like how the light's being used there. That was the first really major cover for the second issue. We go from there to the Atlantic Studios take. There's actually, Atlantic Studios here in 5, 4, 3, 2. This really is when I got into the idea that this was going to be a sci-fi superhero western. The Intrepid basically represents heroes and villains. was basically a superhero sci-fi western. Um, I'm getting off on my Sergio Leone spaghetti western kick. That's basically where it was going. And if you look at the cover, it's basically saying that this is a western. You even got a 6-shooter on the table there, some whiskey. He bleeding a little bit. He got the poncho working and the hat. It's a western. It's a sci-fi western because I love spaghetti westerns, and I just felt like getting off on that. So it's the second cover I thought was decent. There were some issues with the what would you call that? There were some issues with the perspective. Keith looks a little too small behind Paxton. I don't know what you call it. It's supposed to have been actually a fish-eyed lens type deal, but it never was done properly. That wasn't. It's not to knock the artist. I'm just saying that the idea didn't come across properly. But yeah, that's your Atlantic Studio version. Caught the feel of the issue, so I'm not really mad at that. You even got the Applegate brothers who are about to attack Paxton there. One of them had like claws, and the other one had some lightning power or whatever, which you even catch their hands in there. That's cool. We'll move forward from there to Montos. Oh no, actually, I'm going to look at it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What was going to be the alternate version of that same Atlantic Studio cover, which was this one was done by Andrew Froge. And it's awesome. I mean, that should have been the A cover, to be honest with you. He smoked that. I mean, he actually smoked that. That was really good. It got turned into a flyer. It just got turned into a flyer. But that, I think, I can't remember why it wasn't used as an alt cover. But it's a hot piece. And this really has that Western feel. Because I was going for a Western. I like Westerns. I love that stuff. Now we'll go on to the current version. Or the current two versions, because there's a A and a B cover again. We got into that kick. We're looking at Montos, the artist who did the current Intrepid Heroes and Villains story arc. And he smoked this one too. Again, and it catches the heart of the story. Back to back, these two guys, battered, bruised, and fighting off an attack by these two roided out, basically cyborgs. That's a long story, but as soon as you pick up Heroes and Villains from Crucial Crisis Comics, you'll understand the story completely. Anyway, this was a fine cover, and this is the A cover. It captures the heart of the story. These two guys, again, faded friends, fighting for their lives in a death match against Paxton's former teammates, who are now being mind controlled by nefarious forces. So you have that. The alt cover, where is it? Features 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Applegate brothers. Who are the guys that were attacking Paxton and Dawson, Keith and Joseph Paxton? And I don't know, it seems to me that do that on a pink shirt? Anyway, they look like Men in Black. I was going more for mafia types, but yeah, they kind of look like Men in Black. The point of the matter is they come into the bar with the intentions of capturing or killing Joseph Paxton. And from there, again, mayhem ensues. Yeah. So again, the idea for the covers were to capture the feel of a Western. uh, modern day sci-fi western. I can even show you an interior page. Well, here's an interior page from the Atlantic Studios version, and you can catch again the sci-fi western feel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's Paxton wandering down the streets of San Miguel and arriving at La Canción, which is Keith's bar. Now I'll give you another interior from the current issue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this page has, I went through the trouble of getting a small portion of the issue translated because they were in Mexico, and I just wanted to get the feel of, there's a decent amount of translation in there, which was hit or miss. Maybe some people picked it up and they couldn't read Spanish. I tried to use the translation, try to spot it, so that if you didn't understand, I still stand by that. If you don't understand Spanish, you can still follow it. Maybe not the bit at the end, but you should be able to follow it. But I can't remember, if I'm not mistaken, the translations were done by former Dunbrough and Gilmore employees, either Monica Harrell or Grace Marahona. One of them two, I'm pretty sure it was, or if it's not one of those two, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, we actually went through the trouble of getting it translated, and I was proud of that. And I'm still proud of it. I like this. This is one of my favorite issues of the book. And it really got things rolling. After here, the covers and the actual issues started going sideways a little bit. Some really cool stuff started going on conceptually with the covers. We started doing some homages and stuff like that. So upcoming installments of this series are going to get kind of interesting. But that's it. Again, Anatomy of a Cover, Intrepid Heroes and Villains. That's it. So I'm going to get some sleep. You go and do what you got to do. I'll holler at you later. Stay loose.